Hi, Alan Stratton from Woodturning. For this week's video, I thought I'd turn this little goblet from elm. It was good, fresh, wet wood, and so I rough turned it and got it all ready to go. Then when I went to finish it, alas, one of those things that happens frequently with the goblet. That, however, is a very good, clean break, so, interesting. So instead I went out to my scrap pile. I had just processed some walnut and picked up a piece, said, can I make a goblet out of that? Well, it has some live edge here and here, but well, let's give it a try and make a goblet out of walnut instead of the wet elm.
I pulled this piece of walnut from my scrap and offcut pile. It is rather gnarly and weird shaped. With the shape that I have, I may have a bit of live edge. I want to make sure that would be at the base. I would not want it in the cup. I mounted it between centers, trying to judge live edge versus size versus how a goblet may look. The only tool for this job is my large bowl gouge. It is stiff and can handle the pounding from this odd-shaped, hard wood. Then my skew does its job of cutting a small tenon. I am a bit worried about the amount of live edge in the middle of this block. The tenon is too small for my smaller shark jaws, so I retrieved a smaller chuck from my portable lathe. It is 1-inch spindle, so I have to use an adapter to use it on this lathe. Perhaps I should have changed the jaws to a larger set for this chuck. The wood fits, but the jaw bases stick way out from the chuck body. This is a bit of a hazard, so I am wrapping them with tape. If my hand strays, hopefully the tape will bounce it out before I can get hurt. Since the wood is long and thin, I am not confident in the mount. I will do my initial hollowing with Forstner drills. The plus is that all pressure is aligned with the turning axis. No lateral pressure to force the wood out of the chuck. With a lot of the wood removed, I still need to hollow a bit more. This will put lateral stress on the mount. My DIY Steady will help a lot to counter that stress. I'm doing the rest of the hollowing with a round nose scraper. This will remove the steps from the different drills and the center drill point. Then sand the interior of the bowl through all the grits. Now apply shellac friction polish to the interior of the bowl. I like shellac because I can touch it up and blend it back into it as I finish the remainder. Or I can sand it off over and do it over again. Then mark the depth of the interior and the depth that I want for the exterior. Meanwhile, I pulled out a wood faceplate and trimmed it to fit the bowl. It is kind of a jam chuck, but does not need to fit as tight as a full jam chuck. This will support the free end and keep the lateral pressure in check. I have seen others use a tennis ball on their live center with good effect. I want to work the bowl end first, then down the stem. I want to keep as much wood on the stem for as long as possible, otherwise I could get some deflection and a possible break. I'm not trying for the smallest possible stem diameter. That entails a fair amount of risk of deflection, chatter, and breakage. Any short cross grain and this goblet would be dead meat. This is wild enough wood that I'm not taking that risk. I'm working most of this with my spindle gouge, but I finish off the stem with the skew. There is still live edge on the base. I chose not to remove it since the base then could be too small. After a thorough sanding up to 400 grit, I am finishing it with shellac friction polish and a high-speed rub down. All that is left is to cut and sand off the foot. I do not do enough goblets. A goblet is a fun project as long as I do not break the stem or turn through the cup. That has happened too many times, but not this time. There are a large variety of styles. Almost anything goes. I like it. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe on my website, and tell your friends. I appreciate your comments and questions. Every week I make a new wood turning video and add it to my website. Please wear your full face shield for safety anytime the lathe is running. I will see you next week with another wood turning video. Be wise in these COVID times and count your blessings.